Guys, please don't forget to subscribe on the channel of WealthMunshi. Click on the bell icon and get the latest updates.
This is a very important case study and it's a testimony of our long-term association of WealthMunshi. Top initial 10 clients sourced by us in 2001. Now, Mr. Sankar Datta and we've been associated since last 20 years. This itself is a testimony that we believe strongly in long-term association. Today, he's retired, happily living with his spouse, Mrs.Sonja Datta, and in the house which we had sourced for him around 10 years back. Mr. Sankar Datta has been provided end-to-end solution for his financial analysis, wealth analysis, succession planning. We've been very helpful in accomplishing most of his goals, starting from tax planning, financial planning for his income and expense analysis, goal-based investing for his daughter's education who studied in the US, and his retirement fund, which has been very carefully crafted, customized as per his requirement. Now we're also working on his succession planning, where we're also working on his will and trust. Today, Mr. Sankar Datta understands the importance of goal-based investing, and we are also helping him get equipped on all the digital platforms. The positive side on working with Mr. Sankar Datta is he graciously honored us by his presence of his and his spouse, Mrs.Sonja Datta, on our first investor meet, which was held in Hyderabad at ITC Kohinoor in 2019 December. He knows us from scratch, time when we had nothing. It's been a 2 decades of association and we want to have him for our lifetime. It's a time where we can proudly say he's self-sufficient, and today most of his goals have been very well achieved. The challenges faced with Mr. Sankar Datta is not from Mr. Sankar, it's from our side. When we started in 2001, there was nothing called as digital. We has seen us growing. Today, we are matured enough to handle all diversified portfolio. Gives him an overall view at a click of his button. So there has been no challenges from Mr. Sankar Datta. It is just that he has seen us grow from scratch to somewhere today. Let's see what Mr. Sankar Datta has to say.
Okay, let's with the first question of my profile, Shankar Datta. I have been in the space of basically rural development, social interventions, and academics. I have been associated with WealthMunshi more than almost 2 decades or maybe more, and I have benefited in many ways. My first investment, first time explained to me that yes, I could also make some small investment to start with. Especially, I should get myself insured. Then another major thing is that I bought a flat. Again, the Wealth Munshi helped me acquire that property, identify various properties here and there, and showed me around. And then we finally helped me struck the negotiation with the owner. I think that is something which I'm now staying in. So therefore, that's been a definite gain. You see, the first investment was a small insurance, and that time that's all I could afford was at 1,000 rupees per quarter. Today, my portfolio has grown substantially, and I think even after this COVID downturn, around 70 lakhs is my portfolio size. A few thousand rupees to a few lakhs to a 70 lakh portfolio, that's been the growth. Yes, it has taken 2 decades, but it has really grown steadily. Even in this COVID period, well, Munshi helped me manage my portfolio that I didn't have much of a loss. So portfolio performance has been good. From there to today, I mean, last time when I went and attended that annual festival, it's such a huge difference. And obviously, in terms of just the physical assets, you have grown quite from where it was. That's been very enormous kind of growth that I have seen, I've witnessed. But one of the really good thing that I really learned in this association was when you really helped me do a long-term financial planning. Okay, this is what your total expenses are today. This is how it is likely to grow over time, and this is what you need to save. Therefore, and if this is what the inflation rates are, I think that was a real eye opener for me. I have been including that part in my many of my lectures. This is how you can do it very systematically, and been a very useful learning there. But that's where I think we have been able to get very good support from different people within the Wealth Munshi system who have helped me understand some of these digital transactions, the portfolio, and the last one that you created, that full booklet on my own assets. That was also another major eye opener. I never recognized that I had that kind of a portfolio. That way, it's been a very helpful hand. And of course, your WealthMunshi app is also a very useful one, especially during the COVID-19 when things were all crashing here and there. That was one thing which was keeping me sane. I just kept checking my value every time, once in a while, told me that okay, I'm peaceful. But what is very important, what I really trust on is the trust. I think I have got whatever I have asked for. They have delivered what they have promised. Now, for that, they may have done a lot of background reading. I don't know. I don't care. The trust relationship has been built over the last 20 years. And so, therefore, that's what keeps me comfortable. And that, yeah, I mean, on the back of the envelope, I can say that you must be doing some and adequate homework, adequate line to end-to-end challenge solution. But how does that matter? So long as I get my delivery. The app is the one which I use most frequently, and especially as I told you during the COVID time, I had to rely on that. Real strength of the Wealth Munshi. So that is one place where I get information about all my portfolio, everything that is happening everywhere. Okay, this is what I have in my risk fund, this is what I have invested in mutual fund, this is what I have done here and there. All that in one shot, one view. And then if I want the details, I get the details also. So that is, I think, a big advantage. In reality, I have trusted everything into Wealth Munshi and I just survive on that.
Thank you so much, sir.
Today, I mean, it just got very neatly integrated, my real life and my theory. You see, many of these go together. You can't have a strong ethical value and not have value for time. Managing time is also a very important part of ethics, and especially in the finance business. All the values that you rattled off are linked to each other and they're pretty good. When you started that time, it was not so technology. Technology changed, you also have changed. So the value that I see is the adaptability. I'm sure you guys will look at that. The other one, which I think is a persistent long-term relationship. Okay, that's something which I value in Wealth Munshi's way of handling. But ताली एक हाथ से नहीं बजती, दोनों हाथ से बजती है. So I think both of us have, I mean, I and your team, we both have made enough investment into this relationship and it has worked.
Thank you so much.
Your role is very different and that's what I would have been engaged with. I mean, and therefore I will say that yes, I mean, here is a reliable, timely investment solution that you can get from them.